My husband was unfaithful with my son's 18-year-old girlfriend, and I was utterly devastated when I uncovered all of his shameful hidden truths. I will be using fake names for everyone mentioned in this account. I am a 41-year-old woman and a full-time homemaker, and my husband, 48 years old, whom we'll refer to as David, is employed in the financial sector. We have been married for almost 2 decades. We have 2 children, our 18-year-old son, a high school senior whom we'll call Alex, and our 15-year-old daughter, whom we'll call Sarah. They are the absolute joys of my existence. Over the years, my relationship with my husband has become rather routine and distant for various reasons, including his demanding job and the way I feel I've lost my youthful appearance since we first got together. Our son Alex has a girlfriend he's been with since they were both freshmen. We'll call her Lily. Alex is completely smitten with Lily. She's his first serious romance, and I've always treated her like one of the family. This makes the entire ordeal emotionally unbearable for me. Last week, I accidentally caught a glimpse of my husband's phone display and spotted part of a conversation between him and Lily, our son's girlfriend. I saw what appeared to be her saying she missed tasting his sausage. I stood there frozen, in total shock and denial that I spent the rest of the day trying to convince myself that I had misread the text. But I hadn't, because in the days that followed, I found a folder on his laptop containing a large collection of BDSM pornography. It's obvious he struggles with a pornography dependency. He had also downloaded pictures of Lily from her Instagram account onto his computer. Though the images weren't explicit, she was fully dressed. It was the confirmation I needed that I wasn't imagining things. I also checked his phone when I had the chance and viewed more of their exchanges. I regret ever looking. The way it happened was completely by chance. He was using his phone. He wasn't actively in the Messages app at that moment, but the app was still running in the background. You know how on iPhones, when you swipe up, it reveals all the open apps that you can force close. As he was habitually closing out his apps, I noticed it. He hadn't realized the Messages app was still open when he swiped up from another screen. When I first discovered the text between David and Lily, it felt like a knife to the chest. I recall sitting there, my fingers shaking as I scrolled through his phone, the glowing screen displaying words that tore through me. It wasn't only the pain of infidelity, it was how they discussed me. David had taken the personal insecurities I'd shared with him in confidence and twisted them into vicious mockery for his entertainment with Lily. The messages were full of cruel, degrading remarks at my expense. With him repeatedly contrasting me unfavorably to her, he labeled me overweight and aged, among other insults, while Lily joined in with agreement. The texts included emojis and lols, a light-hearted viciousness that made me feel sick. In one thread, he wrote something like, "Can you imagine she actually wore that dress the other night? She looked like a sausage about to split its skin." Lily responded with a bunch of crying, laughing emojis and commented, "She's so outdated, she probably thinks it's fashionable." And it went beyond my appearance. They ridiculed my intellect, my hobbies, the way I expressed myself. Terms like dull, unexciting, and foreseeable were used to sum up the life I'd created, the life I'd shared with him. Every message made me feel as though they were wiping away the affection and respect I believed we'd built over nearly 20 years. At one point, I read him saying, "At least you're exciting. Being with her feels like everything is dragging in slow motion." Lily replied, "LOL, you deserve someone who matches your energy, not someone who holds you back." It was as if I wasn't a real person to them, just an inconvenience, something to mock while they carried on their affair. As I read, I felt myself diminishing, becoming less and less significant. These weren't casual comments. They revealed how little value I held for the man who vowed to cherish me, and Lily, a young woman I'd guided and supported, laughed right along with him, strengthening their bond through the cruelty directed at me. The betrayal came from both sides, a sharp double wound. I remember closing the app, the screen fading to black, and glancing at the family portraits hanging on the opposite wall. The difference between the happy, loving faces in those photos and the disdain in their texts was crushing. In that instant, surrounded by the imaginary echoes of their mockery, I understood that the man I'd married wasn't the one captured in those images. I was left questioning how often they chuckled at my expense, how frequently my suffering had served as their entertainment. I'd always had suspicions or anxious thoughts that David might be unfaithful, but I never imagined anything remotely like this. Last month, I discovered a thong in our bedroom that definitely wasn't mine or my daughter's. I chose to ignore it, naively pretending it could belong to Sarah, even though that was ridiculous. Not only is he cheating on me, but he's also betraying our son. I'm utterly shattered. I don't think any words can truly capture the despair, rage, and disbelief I'm experiencing right now. I'm completely overwhelmed about how to proceed, because clearly something must be done, but I'm terrified of the emotional damage this will inflict on my son. I have no clue how to even approach this horrifying subject with him. I wouldn't wish this nightmare on anyone. I can't believe I ever married this despicable person. Then my thoughts spiraled, noticing that his strange behavior seemed to intensify around the time Lily turned 18. She's been 18 for 5 months. I haven't been able to determine exactly when their involvement began. I'm doing my best to piece it together. He appears to delete his messages every few weeks, so I couldn't find anything older. Did he deliberately wait until she was legal before making a move? There are so many disturbing layers to this, and I'm frozen with terror and dread. None of it feels real. How could this have happened? Was I so blind and foolish that I allowed it all to unfold right in front of me? Alex worships Lily, and the idea of exposing this repulsive reality to him fills me with dread. The effect on his young heart and spirit could be catastrophic. My soul aches for Alex and Sarah, who are entirely blameless in this. I haven't confronted my husband yet, because I'm afraid of the chain reaction it will trigger. I don't know who to speak to first. I'm sharing my experience not for pity, but hoping for insight and maybe guidance from others who have faced profound betrayal. Thank you for reading. Thank you all for the incredible support. I'm sorry if I haven't replied to your direct messages. I'll respond when I'm able, and I'm processing a tremendous amount right now and taking necessary actions. I'm trying to be cautious and calculated in this nightmarish, unbelievable ordeal. I want to make it clear that hiding this from my son was never an option. I didn't intend to suggest otherwise. I was simply expressing how much I dread it, but of course it must be addressed. It's one piece of my broader strategy. For now, I'm acting unaware and gathering as much proof as possible to prepare for every possibility. I will protect myself and ensure I stay out of danger. I'll provide a fuller update soon when I can. Please know your kindness has deeply moved me and made me feel far less isolated. Update 1: My sibling put me in touch with a highly aggressive, no-nonsense attorney. I captured screenshots of all the exchanges between my husband and Lily. I could only recover the past 3 months from iCloud. The conversations were primarily suggestive and explicit. It was difficult to read, completely disgusting, and included several derogatory comments about me. His call records revealed hours-long conversations with her on a regular basis. He actively uses dating applications. I took screenshots of his accounts and all ongoing discussions with potential matches. It's evident he applies age filters targeting women roughly 18-22. I duplicated everything from his computer files. He frequents online sex chats and forums, and he spends significant amounts on OnlyFans subscriptions. I searched every conceivable hiding place in the home. He had an assortment of toys, blindfolds, restraints, lubricants, and the like. He also possessed various costumes resembling a schoolgirl uniform and a maid outfit. I collected Alex and Sarah from school, and we drove straight to my siblings' place. They could tell something was seriously wrong when I arrived. I carefully explained the whole situation to them, and I broke down in tears. Sarah displayed the strongest fury, even surpassing Alex. I met with Lily's mother and disclosed everything. She seized Lily's phone and shared the full message history with me. It only went back 3 months, similar to my husband's backup, as though they coordinated deletions. She said Lily cried hysterically when confronted. Lily insisted to her mom that no one would ever understand, and that she and my husband were truly in love. I won't delve into further specifics of her statements, but it's clear to infer that my husband gradually positioned himself as a wise, dependable figure in her life, exploiting her unstable family background. Lily remains adamant that their relationship only turned romantic and physical very recently, and prior to that, he was simply a close friend and advisor. I confronted David via video call. The second I clicked to join, my pulse was racing. I could hardly keep the cursor steady. When David's image appeared, I immediately sensed this wouldn't be rational. His complexion was flushed, hair messy as if he'd been tugging at it, and his eyes were frantic, shifting before fixing on the webcam. His expression was alarming. He turned beet red and appeared drenched in sweat. There was unmistakable anger and fear in his gaze. His voice was hostile and intimidating. I attempted to start calmly. "David, we have to discuss what's been happening. Before I could continue, he interrupted forcefully. You don't get the full picture. There's context you're missing, he barked, voice trembling and elevated. He repeated context, obsessively without ever clarifying. His hands shook as he clutched some documents. I've reviewed the texts, David. The ones with Lily, I said, striving to remain neutral and de-escalate. But it was like igniting a bomb. That's not what happened, you're inventing lies, he yelled, face now crimson. His volume forced me to move the laptop back. It was terrifying to witness him so unraveled. He wasn't the person I believed I knew. I tried to appeal to reason. David, I have the screenshots. I've seen it all. We need to figure out how to manage this with the children. He pounded the desk, causing the video to jolt. You have no authority to keep my children from me. You're trying to destroy everything. His accusations were vicious, each syllable an attack. I stayed put, though my own hands were now quivering. David, please calm down. We need to work out a way to. I don't have to calm down. You're the one blowing this out of proportion. You're the one tearing apart our family. His voice had become a snarl, face pressed close to the camera, sweat visible. That's when genuine fear took hold. The rage in his eyes and tone suggested someone on the verge of violence. I realized this went beyond cheating. It involved potential threat to me and the kids. His behavior was menacing, as if he were physically present and about to erupt. He kept chanting context and denying everything occurred. He stammered constantly, speech incoherent and intense. Nothing he said was logical. I declined to reveal our location, and he claimed I had no right to separate him from his children. I'm terminating this call. David, we'll speak again when you can talk rationally, I managed, voice faint. You can't just end the... But I disconnected before he finished. He exited abruptly as well. Staring at the empty screen, heart thundering, I knew the situation was graver than I'd feared. His response wasn't mere defensiveness. It was explosive. It was evident this involved not only heartbreak and deceit, but personal safety. I immediately phoned my attorney, stressing the need for a protection order. His displayed hostility provided sufficient grounds to safeguard us. That video call was meant for confrontation and honesty, but it exposed the extent of David's volatility and instability. My lawyer is pursuing temporary exclusive custody of Sarah and a restraining order. Sarah remains the angriest. She's livid with her father and Lily, understandably. Sarah is now recalling instances where she observed her dad interacting with her friends, and it's deeply troubling her. Alex is obviously in pain but demonstrating remarkable composure and maturity. He has requested therapy. I'm immensely proud of the strength both children are showing. They don't deserve any of this. Alex hasn't communicated with Lily since learning the truth, and it's uncertain if he ever will. Both Alex and I are getting medical screenings and tests. There's no knowing how many partners David has had. Regarding Lily, her mother has kept me informed, and Lily has threatened to flee with him because they're in love. Authorities have been notified of the entire matter. I intend to be unrelenting and thorough in the divorce proceedings. I'm reflecting on years of poor treatment that diminished my self-worth and fostered deep insecurity because of him. I refuse to let this creep escape consequences. I plan to rebuild myself and emerge stronger. Update 2. Thank you once more for the outpouring of kindness and motivation. It truly comforts me and means the world. Oddly, the numerous comments and messages accusing me of fabricating this tale also bring a strange reassurance, as even I struggle to accept it's real. It confirms that others find it equally unbelievable. I desperately wish it were fiction. I've been prioritizing everyone's emotions over my own, which I'm working to shift. My feelings fluctuate rapidly between fury and emotional detachment. We're all secure and remaining at my siblings' residence. We're vigilant, and the home is well protected. David has attempted to phone me multiple times daily. I am declining all contact, letting my attorney manage communication. He genuinely frightens me. My siblings' home has robust security, including alarms and strong locks. We feel protected there. Alex and I completed our health checks and initial tests. Preliminary rapid results indicate we're clear, but full lab confirmations are pending soon. I'm not excessively worried. We've scheduled therapy for Alex next week, which brings relief. He needs a neutral professional to help process this complex web of pain and disloyalty. It's not solely the act of betrayal, but the perpetrators. His father, whom he admired, and Lily, who was nearly family. That's an immense burden for any young person. He's not acting like himself currently, that he appears somewhat dazed. And I'm worried. He tends to bottle emotions, making it challenging to gauge his inner state. Yet despite his struggles, Alex's care for me is profoundly moving. He frequently checks, "Mom, how are you coping?" His tone reflects a wisdom beyond his years. He's clearly attempting to support me while carrying his own weight, but the strain is visible. Occasionally, I notice a glimpse of sorrow mixed with determination in his expression. Something no child should feel toward a parent. He's shown no desire to speak with his father. David only calls my number. He hasn't reached out to Alex or Sarah, which is both relieving and painful. It's as though he can't or won't face them now that everything is exposed. Alex isn't inclined to initiate contact either. When I brought up his dad recently, a brief flicker of anger or hurt crossed his face before he concealed it. "I don't have anything to say to him at the moment," he stated simply. My intuition suggests David is extremely anxious. He's frightened. And I believe he realizes a thorough probe could land him in severe trouble. That's my strong instinct. Recalling the video confrontation, his demeanor increasingly seems like that of someone whose life is collapsing. The terror on his face was unmistakable. I offered Sarah therapy as well, but she's not ready. She said she's open to it later but needs space now. Her initial rage has largely shifted to grief, and I hope to encourage professional help soon. Her friendships have been vital, and she's wrestling with related revelations. Many have inquired about Lily's situation. There were questions regarding whether Alex and Lily attend the same school. They shared junior high and knew each other then, but Lily transferred to an all-girls private Catholic high school, while Alex and Sarah remained in public schools. We reside in the same community, and they grew closer over the summer before freshman year, leading to their relationship. I wish I had more positive news on Lily, but things have deteriorated further. Since the exposure, David has resumed meeting Lily, despite her mother's efforts to prevent it. She reports that Lily insists she's 18 and can decide for herself. Lily keeps repeating she's an adult now and in control, her mother shared yesterday, sounding drained and anxious. She tells me over and over that she's grown up and can choose her own path. Her mother is trapped. If she evicts Lily for disobedience, which she's considered, though I advise against it, Lily would likely move in with David permanently. Lily's time with David has actually increased recently, even after he initially ignored her when the scandal broke. There have been periods where Lily disappears for long stretches. Her mother has tried restrictions, grounding, confiscating car keys, monitoring phone access. But Lily circumvents every rule. She's leaving the house secretly at night, her mother confessed tearfully. I check at 3 a.m. and her bed is empty. She refuses to say where she's been, but I know, it's him. I feel a combination of rage and pity for Lily. She's trapped in this harmful dynamic, convinced it's genuine romance when she's clearly being manipulated. David hasn't reformed. His behavior persists, merely redirected. The most frustrating aspect is the powerlessness. I've recommended counseling and professional intervention, but Lily is defiant, blinded by what she perceives as love. It's tragic and exasperating. There's limited direct action I can take regarding Lily, but I do believe resolution is nearing, especially given what I know about David and upcoming developments. I can only hope Lily receives the support she needs when everything unravels further. I'm concentrating on my children, my well-being, and offering Lily's mother my backing. That's the extent of my current involvement. Update 3, April 8, 2024. The encouragement continues to be immense, and I'm truly thankful. Unfortunately, I've also received numerous hostile private messages from skeptics convinced this is fabricated. Someone posted elsewhere claiming my account has been disproven, leading to more accusations of inventing it for financial gain. I'm not soliciting any funds whatsoever that I shared originally out of sheer emotional need, never anticipating such engagement. I'm gaining nothing from this. If you doubt its authenticity, that's your prerogative. I don't mind, but please refrain from sending abusive or confrontational private messages. I continue updating solely for those who've offered genuine compassion. Your support has uplifted me greatly. Regarding the divorce, it's actively progressing. I won't detail specifics as it's ongoing, and I want to avoid complications. I secured temporary custody of Sarah. David must provide interim child support. A protection order is in place. He is prohibited from contacting or approaching us. We're currently navigating the legal process. Again, staying vague to protect the proceedings, but I can say I'm highly confident that substantial evidence exists against David that will result in significant consequences affecting him permanently. Justice is forthcoming, though I must remain discreet for now. I know many share concern over his predatory tendencies, and I wanted to assure you on that front. Your worry for my children's mental health touches me deeply. Alex has attended 2 therapy sessions in recent weeks. Some felt I downplayed his struggle or portrayed him as fine. I fully recognize his inner suffering, and we're providing every possible support and affirmation of love. My sibling has been outstanding, spending quality time with both Alex and Sarah, who have opened up to him extensively. He and his spouse model a strong, healthy relationship and have been invaluable. Sarah hasn't started therapy yet but has promised to consider it soon. Her anger has largely transformed into sorrow, and I plan to gently push for counseling. Her peer group has been crucial, and she's processing related uncomfortable memories. Many remain invested in Lily's welfare. To clarify school overlap, they shared middle school but diverged for high school. She to a private all-girls Catholic institution, they to public. Same neighborhood connected them, with dating beginning summer before freshman year. Regrettably, no improved update on Lily. Things have worsened. Post-exposure, David continues seeing Lily despite her mother's opposition. Lily asserts her adulthood and autonomy. Her mother confided yesterday that Lily repeatedly claims maturity and independence. She's trapped in a difficult bind. Eviction threats risk pushing Lily straight to David. Encounters have escalated lately, reversing his initial avoidance. Lily frequently vanishes for extended periods. Restrictions prove ineffective as she evades them. Sneaking out nocturnally, bed empty by early morning. She withholds details, but the assumption is clear. I experience both fury and compassion toward Lily. She's ensnared in delusion, viewing exploitation as romance. David's habits persist unchanged. The helplessness is agonizing. Suggestions of therapy fall on deaf ears. She's resolute in her illusion. Heartbreaking and maddening. My influence over Lily's circumstances is limited. Yet I anticipate positive shifts soon amid broader fallout for David, hoping she finds clarity and aid when reality surfaces. Prioritizing my family and personal recovery while extending solidarity to her mother, that's my focus presently.